It's Tuesday, the 21st of Adar, March 17th. I know that some of you that come to classes over here, we are studying Tanya, and some of the classes that we're doing, we're around chapters 21, 22, and because the classes are canceled on a person-to-person coming together, so I'll share with you a message, perhaps, hopefully an inspiring one, based on these chapters of Tanya, to address the current coronavirus situation that we're all facing with and grappling with. So in the chapters of Tanya that we're studying these days, we're talking about the concept of Hashem Echad, that in Judaism, and the way the Alter Rebbe explains it in Tanya, is that we don't just believe that there's one God and not any other gods, but Hashem Echad on a deeper level means that we believe that everything that happens in our world is all part of Hashem Echad, it's all Hashem, and there's no other powers other than Hashem that's controlling everything in our world. I know that many of us are grappling with meaning, what's going on. Many of us, it's health, that's the most important thing. Some of us are just grappling with the fact that we can't go to work, and there's a financial situation, and people seem to be like asking, why is God doing this? What's the message in it for me? Many of us cannot attend our shul, our regular going to shul 3 times a day, davening with a minyan, or our classes. Like, how could Hashem be doing this if it seems like everything is not what Hashem wants? Hashem does want we should go to shul and daven. So now, in a time when we're told by the medical professionals as well as rabbis that we should stay home, and hopefully that will help the virus pass, the question is, how do I find meaning in this? And, there's something, we just celebrated Purim a week ago. And the story of Purim really addresses this concept in a certain way, because if you look at the story of Purim, a lot of the details happen over different periods of time. There's even some of the parts of the story of Purim that all come together at the end, happen 10 years apart from the other. So you have the party, you have Achashverosh, you have Vashti, and then you have Mordechai overhearing the two of the guards wanting to kill Achashverosh, and he reports it to Achashverosh, and these things happen years apart, and they seem to be like not connected to each other. But at the end, they all come together and it gives us the beautiful holiday and miracle of Purim. And the same is true, we believe, is everything that happens in life. It all comes from Hashem, there's a reason behind it. We may not know the reason, and sometimes we may struggle to think, why is Hashem doing this? But at the end, we believe everything comes from Hashem, and everything is really coming together. We may not see it openly in our eyes, but we believe Hashem Echad, that it's all part of Hashem. And I just want to conclude with a story that I've shared many times, but I just heard a class of my brother-in-law, Kelly Silberg, how we put this in this context, and I think really a story brings out that idea very well. Today is the 21st day of Adar, which is the yahrzeit of the Tzaddik Rabbi Elimelech of Lizhensk. And there's a famous story told of him and his brother once traveling, and they were arrested by the authorities for whatever reason. Back then, they didn't really need such a strong and valid reason to arrest a religious Jew with a yarmulke, payas, and tzitzis. So they were arrested, and they found themselves in jail. And in the morning, Rabbi Elimelech sees Rav Zusha, or vice versa. One of the brothers sees the other brother, how they're sad and they're crying. And he asks them, what's the matter? And he says, look, in the room that we're in the jail, they put a bucket right in the middle of the room for people to relieve themselves. And according to Jewish law, one may not daven when there's such a pail in the room. And I'm very upset. Every single day I'm always davening. Today I won't be able to daven. So his brother says, why is that a reason to be sad? The same Hashem that tells us to daven every day tells us that when you're in a situation where you're not allowed to daven, you should not daven. And his brother thinks about it, and eventually they both say, yes, that's true. And they both, so joyously, they just start dancing. And eventually all the prisoners start dancing. And when the Russian guards hear all the prisoners dancing, they walk into the room all upset and ask, what's going on? And people are pointing to the Jews, it's them, it's their fault, they started dancing. And the guard asks why they're dancing, they're in jail. And they said, we're not sure, something about the pail in the middle of the room. And they were thinking about it and they started dancing. So the guard says, perhaps they're happy that they have this convenience of having the pail right in the middle of the room. I'll teach them a lesson. And he pulls the pail out of the room. And one of the brothers of Zusha or Melech tells his brother, now you can go daven. And obviously the lesson of the story is that wherever situation that we are in, it's always Hashem behind it. There's always a reason to be happy. Whatever we do or we can't do based on the situation we're in, we have to realize that we're here to serve Hashem. This whole world is run by Hashem. There are no other forces, and that itself should give us the chizuk, the strength that we need to cope with these challenging days. And let us hope that these days will end. These challenging days will end very soon. Those who were affected